Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in information? I mean, we have all of human knowledge at our fingertips, but actually making sense of it all? That's the real challenge. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to take the most complicated topics and make them simple, clear, and honestly unforgettable. Okay, look at this, the stock market. We've got shares, IPOs, demand and supply, the economy, investor emotions. It's a whole lot to take in at once, right? This is just raw data, and yeah, it's all true, but for most of us, reading a block of text like this, it just doesn't stick. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we get from that wall of text, to something that anyone, and I mean anyone, can get their head around in just a couple of minutes? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. The secret's out. The whole thing starts with a little bit of science. See, making things simple isn't just about pretty pictures. It's about understanding the way our brains are actually wired to take in new information. And this is such a crucial point from researchers Ayers and Pass back in 2007. Just because something is moving on a screen doesn't mean it's a better way to learn. In fact, if you design it poorly, it can be even more confusing than just reading a book. It's all about how you do it. And the science behind it all is something called cognitive load theory. Now, that sounds complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. Think of your working memory, the part of your brain that's processing new stuff, like it can only juggle a few balls at once. If you throw too many balls or you throw them in a really confusing way, everything just gets dropped. Your brain overloads, and boom, learning stops. And the real villain in this story is what scientists call extraneous cognitive load. This is basically all the mental energy you waste on stuff that isn't helping you learn. You know, like trying to figure out a confusing chart or searching a messy screen for the one thing that matters. The whole goal of a great explainer is to get rid of all that wasted effort. And this is a perfect example of how to do it right. Whiteboard animations are so powerful because they totally eliminate that bad cognitive load. The hand drawing the picture literally guides your eye. You know exactly where to look. The simple visuals cut out all the noise, and suddenly, learning feels easy. It feels effortless. All right, so now that we get the why behind it, let's get into the fun stuff, the what and the how. There are some really popular styles and amazing tools out there that have absolutely mastered this art of making things simple. And I'm sure you've seen these everywhere. You've got those awesome hand-drawn time lapses like the ones from Minute Physics. You have the super popular stickman explainers from creators like CGP Grey. Then, of course, there's the classic whiteboard style, used by everyone from RSA to medical channels like Osmosis. And for the really nerdy stuff, you've even got code libraries like Manim that create these beautiful, flowing math animations. And the reach of these things is just mind-blowing. Take a channel like Rico Animations, which tells stories with really simple stick figures. They've pulled in over 7.5 billion views. That's billion with a B. That's the power you unlock with clear and simple storytelling. And the tools to make them are more accessible than ever. I mean, look at two of the big players, VideoScribe and Doodly. You can see the trade-offs right away. VideoScribe is cheaper, as a huge image library. Doodly lets you do things like custom backgrounds, but you need to be online. The main takeaway here is that you don't need a Hollywood budget to make these things anymore. But here's where it gets really crazy. The whole process is being completely supercharged by AI. Artificial intelligence is making it easier than ever to create amazing explainers right from your keyboard. Just think about this for a second. You can start with just a simple text prompt, just an idea. And from that one idea, AI can help you build out the entire thing, the script, the images, the animation, and yeah, even a voiceover that sounds just like this. So, what does that new workflow look like? Well, step 1, you use something like ChatGPT to hammer out your script and get ideas for scenes. Step 2, you take those ideas to an image generator like Rendar AI to create your visuals. Step 3, you use an animation tool to bring those images to life. Step 4, a service like DubDub can create a professional voiceover from your script. And finally, step 5, you just pull it all together in a super simple editor like CapCut. Okay, so let's bring this all home. Let's see what happens when we use all these principles and tools on that big, confusing block of text that we started with. Remember our first challenge, that wall of words about the stock market? Instead of just throwing a bunch of facts at you, a good explainer breaks it all down into simple, bite-sized visual ideas. So, one of the main ways you make money is through something called a capital gain. It's just the profit you make when you sell a stock for more than you paid for it. But reading that definition is one thing. Seeing it is what really makes it click. And boom, there it is. You buy for 100, you sell for 150. That space in between, that's your profit. You get it instantly with zero mental gymnastics. This simple visual is doing all the heavy lifting for your brain, killing that extraneous cognitive load we talked about. Now, the second way you can make money is with dividends. This is where a company literally shares a piece of its profits with you just because you own their stock. It's a pretty simple idea, but again, let's make it visual. And a simple chart like this makes it crystal clear. The company makes its profit, it puts most of it back into the business to grow, and it pays out that little slice to its investors. An abstract financial idea suddenly becomes a piece of a pie. It's tangible and it's easy to remember. Look, here's the most important takeaway. This isn't about dumbing things down. It's about being smarter in how you present ideas. The real secret is to make things clear, not just simple. When you respect the way our brains work, you can turn any dense, boring text into a story that people will not only understand, but actually remember. So, the secret is out. You have the science, you've seen the styles, and you know about the tools. The only real question left is, what's the first complex idea that you're going to make simple?